but because you don't have as many Titans in here in Group B, you're back to an even playing field. At the moment for survival. You're still going up against world-class squads out here. But of course, this is game number one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As we hop on into Bermuda, the flight path is going to be dictating quite a number of things. And the first one's going to be who's out of the flight first. It's MRBR Lost, RRQ, as well as Team Secret. And Team Secret's another team that we definitely have to talk about. This team, the current kings of Southeast Asia, and some may argue Southeast Asia might just be one of the toughest lobbies out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, when we talked about that as well, I think a lot of fingers, were pointed toward that Group A, right? We saw what happened from Buram United. It was really scary seeing them on that day one as well. But at the same time, in this lobby, Southeast Asia, and we're meeting up against, I would say, one of the hard hitters, which is going to be Brazil as well. And again, when you look at the group stage leaders, Lost really put a big lead between themselves and the rest of the pack as well. Yeah, it's going to be easy to catch up. I mean, coming into a few matches more today, if they can maintain that consistency, or many other teams can do so. But right now, undeniably, at least for day one, Southeast Asia is at the top.
I mean, Southeast Asia being at the top is no surprise to me at this point of time. What they're capable of doing. Al-Ahli, on the other hand, yesterday, I feel like they had a decent enough run. Sifu was knocked down, but Simox is there to find the instant recovery for his buddy, and they will not have to waste their time going in for the revival. But it looks like Vitality wants a big fight. The launchpad is going to be putting them in the best spot to knock down Simox. Sifu, barely any health left on him. He's going in with the medkit, double riptide rhythm, breaks down his defenses though, exposing him, but Diggs is just a tad bit too busy patching himself up. On the opposite side, Vitality versus RRQ. This is an infighting. What was that? Serumpun you said earlier?
Perang
Serumpun. That's exactly what we're having out here between the two brothers.
Yeah, and now Juts on the very top side here, putting in the damage from above, and Joel will be no, it's not, because this is there to make sure his teammate remains alive. Rans also falls, and Abai falls to reposition, finding a different way to bring his team back into the game.
Oh, it looks like this little battle between RRQ and Vitality might have to take a pause here as Straw Hats drops by to say hello. This is the survival battle for Straw Hats. Can they overwhelm RRQ, who are already hurt, already injured? They just need to take two players out of the equation, but that is easier said than done. Vitality's not abandoning the compound just yet. Straw Hats picking each other right back up, and they're sticking together. They do have a chance in here if they can continue with this level of aggression.
Hiding already. We already saw or anticipated what was going to be happening early. Now, Vitality waiting in the wings, hoping to see who shows their hand first. Straw Hats waiting. Who will be the one to show his first shot here? Dick takes a bit of stick damage, but never more than that. And for the rest of the team, Vitality, at least for Dix, he's going to be completely crushed from multiple multiple angles here. What are you gonna do when this collapse happens?
Yeah, information comes on through and Straw Hats flood in, getting their 5th elimination. This is what you gotta do if you're the Straw Hats. Kaizoku Oni, Oreba Naru, that's what they want to say as they rise up to the top. But unfortunately, only one can be the king of pirates for the squad. So they'll have to figure it out between themselves exactly who's gonna be that Joy Boy, Joel, as well as Seabang. Team Vitality taking quite a beating very early on in the game. They've got the coins to bring back their buddies though. But only one revival here. Joel still needs to hit those coin machines that are in the compound. Leon, on the other hand, in a little bit of a pickle here if SHUL gets this vantage point and takes Della out of the equation, who's trying to put a little bit of distance between himself and SHUL. That one shot finding the connection. Della still alive and kicking out there on the battlefield. Troll shut down by Joker. The flank around the right with the BSK allows Leon to take control of this compound.
Yeah, crazy stuff coming from him as well. And it was almost like he was really undetected throughout the entire moment this was happening. SAUL not going to be reacting off this though. They're just going to be chilling and waiting and biding for time as time goes. And I'm really curious to see what's happening on this side because Huang has been already knocked out by Nyx here, by Mia. And this is another team that is really trying their best to keep themselves still in the game.
Leon, yesterday, they had no placement points off of Bermuda and 5 eliminations. So they have to be really careful to not make that same mistake here. Once again, Straw Hats continues to pop up. This time, SHUL loses yet another player to the Straw Hats. 6 eliminations strong. They're looking for more. Buddy will find his back to the Max 7 and Shocked will shock the world as he overwhelms them. Straw Hats rising up to the occasion here. And SHUL having their souls reaped away.
It is incredible to see this coming from Straw Hats. Definitely motivated to move around the area. More proactive, in fact, compared to yesterday. Really eager to take these fights around the area. They what, 2, 3 teams already they've gone head-to-head against.
Straw Hats yesterday in Bermuda picked a total of 4 points. Now, just through the eliminations, they've got an 8 already. So they're double better than whatever they were yesterday. And we're just kicking this matchup off. And that's the kind of hunger that you see in the squad. How much more can they deliver on this battlefield? They need to keep their confidence at an all-time high, and clearly this first game helping them do exactly that. But if you are Straw Hats, you definitely want to calm down a tad bit and focus on those circles, focus on your rotations a tad bit more as well. You don't really want to be playing your luck with too many of these early engagements.
Yeah, now toward Bima Sakti, we are going to be looking at a team. Oh no, looking here over on this side. Well, Jack already sniped to his death so quickly. Joker is on a rampage, doing so much damage with just the snipers.
Yeah, Joker's just annihilating with the BSK. Beautiful stuff out of the guy. Once again, 5 eliminations out of the 7 that the squad has so far. We already said this is the meta of the snipers, and Joker clearly understands that, wanting to take maximum advantage of that. Della catching up with the rest of his buddies as now Straw Hats once again ends up in a very early battle. I am not liking this, but can they overwhelm Leon, who's just not the best at Bermuda in this lobby?
Yeah, they decided to just move away here as well. So Shocked is going to try to find a vantage point forward. Della and also the rest of his team quickly finding time here. Who will get a double kill there somewhere? And even bringing his teammate back into the game, but Joker's not done quite yet.
One more, and Game's King down. But the shots from Joker is absolutely annoying. But thankfully, Leon does not have more numbers here alive to pressure Straw Hats. They back away, they call a truce for the time being, and Straw Hats will be able to pull Nil back into the game as well. Look at this phenomenal performance from Straw Hats. 10 eliminations already.
Crazy.
This is their best run so far. Yesterday, they got nowhere close to 10 eliminations in any one of their games.
Yeah, it's such a change in tune as RQ will be the one in trouble next. Pain from above as TG pressured them. Bullets upon bullets. A bit of a reprieve as they did manage to get the resets. And the collapse hasn't happened quite yet. Abe moves forward. Mal knocked down. And Abe is the last one alive. Has to survive this to bring his team back into the game. During an interview, Dutch said that yesterday was supposedly their warm-up day. But they're still facing so many problems by so many different teams in these rotations.
Abe just trying to make some magic work out of this monster truck's gonna find that gravity is not gonna be on his side. So unfortunately for him, he cannot drive away. But even if he did try, Shanky who just snuff him out in an instant. You've got Aztec there as well with an AC-80, so it's just not going to be possible for Abe to save himself at the moment. He's just got to hope and pray that by some luck, Aiku Total Gaming just walks away from this bridge, giving him a little bit of a leeway to escape this sticky situation. RRQ left with their final player, and potentially after that vitality, what's the rumpun?
Perang serumput.
Perang
Yeah,
serumput. Perang serumput. Perhaps that put them in a tad bit of a pickle. And speaking of vitality, you're going up against Miracorp, and Miracorp cannot afford to lose this battle. And if they can take down Vitality, that should definitely boost their confidence quite a little bit. Vitality were on fire yesterday.
Yeah, and I think one thing's for sure that we wanted to see Mia just try their best to not only just survive, but also be able to bring themselves into more than just bottom two. Now, this shot by Diamond was just nasty as well that happened just now. In fact, he had moved around the area, got 2 snipes, and he was undetected throughout the entire time.
Kar 98, definitely a weapon of choice for many of the players here, because of the advantage it gives you out there on the battlefield with a little bit of an assistance. You saw the deadly timing from the guy, but Sibank now. Trigger discipline is there. Straw Hats understands the situation, and they will secure the vending machine for themselves as well. Bangladesh still has got their dreams alive through Straw Hats. Yesterday was a disappointing run. Not a single match they managed to walk away with more than 5 points. Today, on the other hand, in this first game in itself, Straw Hats sitting on 10 eliminations. In fact, they are on fire with the eliminations. They're the best ones in this lobby so far. If they can keep this up at least for 3 games, they sure as hell will be able to escape doom from the bottom 2 spots.
And you know, I think we didn't really see too much from Lost, but finally they did show their hand just now. They got a pick up onto Abe, trying to bring his teammate back into the game.
Yeah.
They did manage to come back online though, so that's really, really important for RRQ. Regardless of that, still surviving alone without Abe. Now it goes back to his team. I think it was Dudes that he brought back. So he has to be able to find a way to not only bring his team back into the game, but also survive. There we go. I think Mal is already back into the game as well. So this is massive.
Yeah, very good play here from Dudes. Managing to bring his buddies right back in, triple revive. And they pick a great spot at the observatory with the tanks of the R1's Dinocular scan, spotting no players there. They'll have to tank a little bit of damage from the circle, but they do have a double team booster on their side. Dirt's in a little bit of trouble there. MIB lost spotting him out, trying to shoot him out of the air, but they're going to be unsuccessful with that attempt. MIB loss is a tad bit slower today in terms of raking in those eliminations, but they really are not pressured to find more numbers out there. They're definitely going to secure the top 4 as long as they can find the final circle game after game.
You know what? I like this. Everyone has a little bit of, an area where they're holding on to. No one's really trying to really commit to this fight, but it will change very, very soon. Especially since the majority of teams are trying to get into the circle. Twisted Mind's not here yet. Leon is coming in very, very soon. And Leon has been really active this game as well. I think 9 elims so far.
Aiku Total Gaming using the bridge to boost them up. That high vantage point gets them yet another elimination. That's what you need if you're from the Indian squad. You just want to be farming these points one after the other. And speaking of farming, Miracorp needs to do that exact same thing. Show us what you've shown us already in USA. Show us what you've shown us in terms of your capability of finding that final circle. Leon, just like Straw Hats, doing so much better today with their positioning.
Oh, Joker is still on a rampage with the sniper, and it's a lethal weapon in his hands. He got so many eliminations, even some chip damage to any team that's rotating away as well, which makes it so terrifying. This angle he's going to be able to just really abuse, and it's AHL that he's going to be paying attention to. Hawk knocked down already, and over on this side here, TS also trying to find their way up onto a high ground.
Yeah, Team Secret just staying a little bit quiet in the game for the time being, wanting to just pop off a little bit later on. And because they have been quiet, nobody has really taken away the resources that they've been collecting from the very start of the match. That's going to be making Team Secret a dangerous squad within that final circle. And we know they are definitely capable of annihilating many squads out there. Jack out in the open, a very daring position for him to be holding on to. Leon's going to be losing 2 players. Make that 3 as Joker gets shot out as well. Games King, it's the final one alive here for Leon. Al Ahly, can you take advantage? They might be able to. And he's far, far away from any vending machine, and Al Ahly won't be able to find one
No
extra
way.
point unless Game is King with the valiant dash. That's
Oh my
another on
God!
them. 1v2. Like the troll under the bridge eliminates Al Ahly Esports.
We were just talking about Team Secrets now, and now Enshan and the rest of the team are in trouble. Dio rushes forward, and now knocked down by Bobs. They were very much ready for it. Luxo is now here. Bobs barely alive! But somehow DS will be the team to pull themselves forward, but not for long, because Lost is close by.
MIB Outlaws just taking advantage of that situation, but now it's a battle between SHUL as well as Lost. Round one, knocking Jack down to the ground and taking him out of the equation. Noor's out as well. Aku Total Gaming, what can you do up against RRQ? They've already built up the solid walls on top of that monster truck just to keep the Indonesian monsters away from them. And Twisted Minds will land right behind. And this is that Riptide rhythm out of nowhere, courtesy of Vitality, courtesy of Straw Hats with some shots as well. And it looks like Twisted Minds is not going to be as lucky as they take the fight straight up to RRQ.
Oh my God.
But X-Posy lighting up the battlefield, kicking RRQ out of the lobby.
It is insane seeing how Twisted Minds just rush forward, destroy RRQ, who were sandwiched between these two teams. Now TG gonna way forward here, gonna take this fight head on against Twisted Minds. The rest of the team forced forward here. TG barely alive, surviving for that time being. But now with so many teams pressuring them, Aztec takes a lot of damage already. But they're doing their best, just really lock themselves in behind all those glue walls.
Yeah, Aku Total Gaming has lost a ton of glue walls already in the battle. They need to take Twisted Minds out of the equation, loot them up so that they can continue to play this all the way down to the very end. But MIB are lost, closing in the distance, tossing out those nades as well. And the God Nade gets a double for them. Rick Free with the double, and he goes in for the annihilation. And just like that, Aku Total Gaming out of the equation. Twisted Minds up against MIB are lost. What can Southeast Asia do against the racing Brazilians?
Well, Diamond's already knocked down already and forced to move away. They have to go for this reset. Teammate brought back into the game, but the timing from Lost is too much to deal with. They're fast and they're furious. Knocked down already. But still have to worry about the rest of the team below, because General knocked down. Diamond's still alive. Rigby should have no problem bringing General back into the game.
Yeah, recovery is there. A cheeky nade here from Diamond. Can he get one? Round one. It's all up to Rigby, and Rigby, an absolute solid player for MIB Outlaws in this lobby. 8 eliminations for him alone, and he was definitely cracking it as the Grenadier of the squad. But now trying to get off of that bridge is going to be a tad bit tough for Lost. SHUL Esports out as well, but placement points wise, they do manage to walk away with something decent here. MIB Outlaws out. As mentioned, the pressure from the circle just a tad bit too much, but Leon hanging on for their day alive. A huge improvement from yesterday at Bermuda.
Yeah, Vitality still healthy right now. Knows where Games King is, and despite his best efforts, will be knocked down as well. A valiant effort by Leon, despite Games King being alone at 1v2 win, plus the multi-frags that he got before going out is insane.
This is what I talked about. This is what I said on the stage. Today, what we expect is the teams at the very bottom to make it into that final circle. Eliminations or not, I don't care. But this is what we want to see. Straw Hats and Miakon showing us that they've got the fight in them. They take each other on. And Bangladesh shuts down Miakon. underestimate them. You cannot count them out of the race just yet. But Miyakov, I have seen better from this squad within their own region. I'm I'm unfortunately going to be Asian parenting them at this point of time. I'm expecting more, although they got into the final circle earlier. More consistency for sure. When we hop on into game number 2, this is going to be that battle at Solara.
Yeah, Solara was very, very interesting yesterday as well. It was, I think, one thing's for sure though, we saw a lot of not only just moments where people were like moving away and running away, but we are seeing on top of the real fights, chases as well around the map, and it's going to be very exciting. Now we saw a bit of a glimpse of what we could see from SH as well as Mia. I am wondering to see whether this momentum will continue into this map.
Yeah, absolutely. Straw Hats down at the aquarium. The other team that has got a split drop is the one and only Fluxo, who got taken out of the lobby at time, and a bleeding predator is a very dangerous predator. Miyakov, on the other hand, Mimlik's already sustaining a shot through his chest, but they do manage to quickly reposition off of those slide rails, looking to find a little bit of extra loot here at Riders Club. MIB are lost up against Twisted Minds, though, in a very early encounter earlier, and Rigby taken out early, but of course the team's not really going to suffer bringing him back. There's just one. But IQ Total Gaming could just be taken down here by a good performing Leon. Gomez King down on the ground. Della for the instant pickup, and they want to put on that pressure. Shanky backing away, all alone now. Gomez King with the Mag 7 will take him out instantly. And this is trouble time. IQ Total Gaming left with one final survivor, but Mafia buying an insurance policy back for the squad. That one revival is going to keep them in for a little while more.
I think it's super exciting to see this happening because we were talking about how Lion just now was having such a great game. They were very aggressive. Hold that thought, shot, instant kill, headshot, eliminating Abai so quickly. But now he is in trouble since all eyes are on him.
Yeah, Rand's looking for a little bit of revenge shot, but great defense there with a double blue wall. Medkit's gonna come in handy at this point of time. We'll catch up with Straw Hats later as we spot out the players on the side of Vitality doing battle with Twisted Minds. 2 eliminations in hand already for Twisted Minds, and they're looking to take this out of the equation. The Indonesian player, Valiant Dash, breaks down his defenses, and the pass with a sliver of health cannot sustain as Joel from behind the glue wall hits him with the M82B.
Yeah, he's keeping his teammate alive as well. All eyes. I think he's definitely the most noted jump as well. A lot of damage onto him, but cannot keep him alive and deny that point because Diamond is close by as well. He's going to try for more.
Diamond's going to go in for the rush here. Gets tagged up by Joel. He's got the car 98, so Diamond can't mess around. M82B will find the access behind the glue wall as well. Diamond in a lot of trouble here. Joel with the advantage, and Kolja with the blast. The VSK puts the guy down. And Tristan Minds will understand that they're not messing around with a small squad here. Vitality, do you go for the wipe? But there's Yankee interfering in the battle, and that forces the reposition out of Vitality.
And they do not want to deal with this too early as well, but great work coming from them. They have so many high draws and angles well to be able to trade off one another. But meanwhile, for AHL, all eyes on the Fluxo side. They want to take this fight, but Fluxo, and you know how they play, they don't want to take this fight too early, putting a bit of space between each other.
Let's see what will Al-Alki do here up against one of the biggest monsters you can come across. One and only Fluxo. Not powerful just because they've got a huge fan base behind them. They've got a huge fan base behind them because of what they can do out here in a lobby like this. Sifu tagged out, pushes in, walking in, Valiant Dash breaks down the defenses, but could not go in for that instant shot. Sifu looking for the recovery and gets his own blue wall broken down here, but the backup from Jiu and the core will give him the advantage and pushes and follows up the M590 shot. Alawi now in a lot of trouble. As Remind quickly tries to back away, Car98 in hand, but there's nowhere to run. Fluxo's on the hunt.
Yeah, and you know that while they are chasing, they are almost like a boa constrictor who does not want to let go of the prey. Shots toward Al to Remind, but he's managing to stay alive for the time being. But Bob's heavy on that pursuit.
The Bobs should be able to find this elimination here, Remind. Outside, Bobs with the Woodpecker. Not finding the shots on connection, and Remind actually manages to scurry away. Beagle on fire though. Remind, what a an escape from Fluxo. Looks like the breeding predators were not very efficient in that battle. Aztecs going to be backstabbed here by Extra. And what a play still. Straw Hats on another level. Keeping the dream alive for Bangladesh once again.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that they're riding off that high end momentum from map one. We questioned it whether or not they will continue, and they definitely came into today with a game plan. Now, a reminder for yesterday, when we were on Solara, Team Secret had a booyah with 31 points, but we haven't seen too much from them from map one and in this game as well yet so far.
Ryder Esports, they survived Group A, the group of death many people called it. But he's showing everyone that they are capable of getting into the grand finals. But of course, if you look at where they set on the overall leaderboard, it's going to be quite a bit of struggle. So more is going to be needed out of them. But if they play anything like what Straw Hats is showing us out there on the lobby, they're going to see Bangladesh in the grand finals for sure. Leon, on the other hand, on the hunt. Al-Ali, Hawk. But the Hawk's not up in the air. It's wounded. It's on the ground. It's running away. And birds should be flying. Unfortunately, Hawk can't do that all alone as he's hunted by a pack of lions.
Yeah, very hungry as well. They love to keep these guys.
That's
Doesn't
it.
want to let it go. There we go. That's the first shot onto Hawk. That's a lot of damage done. Joker juking away, trying to stay healthy. And you know this guy, once he lands his strike, very nasty. And there we go. It's Gabe's King that finds Hawk in the end. It's a double kill for him.
A beautiful play. Hawk at least tried his very best, had the Skylar on him, Riptide Rhythm finding the connection, but of course Joker just dodged that bullet perfectly, saw a little bit of natural cover with the compound and made good use of that. If you look at most eliminations, man, MIBR lost, still on fire, even though we didn't see a massive game from them at Bermuda. They still walked away with the 40 eliminations, and Yago's just topping the charts with the damage as well.
Yeah, that circle hardship to the right as well, with SAUL being so comfortable in that middle area. And this is where things get super interesting, how the fights are going to be happening, and how many teams will be eyeing that compound.
Absolutely no. Next circle. Towards SHUL as well as MIBR lost. Both of these teams will stay silent for the time being, but now Team Secret up against Luxo. The shot onto Decoy. He needs to recover. Wang Ang on the other hand, M16 in hand already. Enhanced with the hammer. Looking for the reposition as well. Flanking towards the left. He does have the thrill of battle in hand, but he could just be the distraction here for Team Secret so that the rest of these players can get into position. RRQ looking for a straw hat and they find who? That's not a question, that's a statement.
Wait, waiting in the wings as well here. Knows that close by. You also see Twisted Minds as well. I don't know if I said this. Move forward. It's here. Diamond takes quite a bit of damage from that corner here. Just putting a lot of pressure on him. Forced to move away, forced out into the open. His teammates managing to rotate across. Dude's close by here. A jump shot forward means Diamond cannot survive longer and will be able to secure that point.
As expected, Fluxo really not going all out just yet. Boogeyman still choosing to fly under the radar. Already got it taken out. No placement points in this game. Barely any eliminations from the outside. Twisted Minds on the other hand, still on the hunt. Ma'al, AWM in hand. Exposy does not know.
Okay, then check him.
Ma'al, trigger discipline is there. He has the Moors. Both of them outside the circle. Exposy runs. Still does not check his corners. Still does not see him. How in the world?
There is
Ma'al
no...
the ninja. Without the stealth fights, he's still stealthy.
Yeah, that just one corner unseen survives, and the ability to be able to prolong RRQ's run on this map.
They
Interesting
say
though.
keep your head down. I never knew it would work like that.
For real though, it worked out so well in
taking a tad bit of damage here. We need to look for the next circle because it's going to move yet again. And Mahal just lucked out big time, and RRQ gets to have a little bit of fun there at Funfair, catching up with each other. But away, Twisted Minds just tied to RRQ fatally. Ico Total Gaming, on the other hand, unfortunately for them, they've been taken out of the equation a tad bit too early. It's definitely going to be a long journey for them, but just really something to think about. As long as they can keep themselves away from the bottom two, I think, in their hit rescue team.
Oh yeah. Been waiting here, Twisted Mind. Guys had already dropped out so early there. Abe now position noted. Still wants to go for the hunt. Jump will be seen. Breaks that with a valiant dash, but able to put the glue wall down for the second time. The back knocked down, and now it's a 2v1. His team is already back in the game as well. So the crunch is here, and Abe a quad instantly doing damage to so many members of
Lights the vehicle up in fire, and PLS1 with the AWM takes him out of the vehicle and the lobby. Unfortunate for Twisted Minds. RRQ did not show them the same courtesy Exposé showed Mahal.
Oh yeah. Now CMOX is in trouble as the rest of the Lions look to go for the hunt. Finds him in the corner. The Valiant Dad breaks it in the end. He's so quick to take him out of the game.
Well, PLS1 stole that one away. Beautiful play! And Gabiskin gets knocked down as well. The AWM from PLS1 Team Secret has got a nasty sniper on their side. And Jakob dealing with that instantly with the M82B. But of course, the recovery should be easy for Team Secret. Move on over to Vitality up against SHUL. I think this is a little bit of a peace treaty between them. They're not going to find the engagement between each other just yet. Looking to play it safe for the next circle.
Southern side here in control of the Lions. Well, meanwhile, close by, we also have Team Secret. I think they definitely had their eyes onto the members of RRQ here. Meanwhile, for the Straw Hats, well, surviving this long and still at the very top of the lobby, it is terrifying seeing this team activated on the second day.
Absolutely. Can we see yet another Bangladeshi squad survive the group stage? Unbelievable survival play from TEZ. Titan Esports just showing everyone that the dream can be kept alive. And Straw Hats again, early game, 10 eliminations already. Yesterday, man, they were just down in the dumps. But today, Straw Hats just showing us they're awakening their conquerors hockey. This is knocking everyone out without even bumping into them. Just will have to find your way around the Straw Hats. Because if you let them run away with this, I think they're going to be dominating the lobby eventually. Team Secret, 7 eliminations in hand. And PLS1 on fire earlier, but he slowed things down a tad bit here. They need to look for a way to get into the next circle, and RRQ stands in their way.
Yeah, they put a lot of damage and pressure toward this team as well. The fact that the Lost is not able to really do anything either says a lot about how much space as well as power RQ has. And speaking of power right now, Team Secret on a rampage, looking for this fight against the Lions, not able to take up too much space, kept out of the zone thanks to all of these glue walls.
Beyond. What can they do? A little bit of a panic here because the circle's looking for them. Getting the damage in. Team Secret is trying to gatekeep Leon. RRQ, Straw Hats on the way, Bangladesh. Looking to sneak away the points as the third party. Y'all better wrap up your act right now, Straw Hats says, because we will not have a choice. Whoa, RRQ! God made from the master Grenadier shoots himself.
Beautifully done, and they had so many close calls in the beginning of the game, and they're looking to keep so many of these teams out here. Team Secret in trouble. The Lions taking in so much pressure from RRQ as well. Jella knocked down and trying to be able to be brought back into the game, not able to do so.
At SAUL Esports taking out Vitality. Talk a little bit about the aggression from the Indian squads. Team Secret shut down as well. You can thank RRQ for that. Who would have expected them to step out of their own safe zone to take the fight up against two teams who were looking for from their defensive spot. So a little bit of proactive action there from the Indonesian Titans. Beyond's out of the equation already. We're left with 4 squads in here. RRQ, MIBR lost. Miakop and Straw Hats again getting towards that final circle. But Josh wearing a little bit of a boo-boo there, looking for the pickup from his buddies.
Yeah, time is dwindling and no space to move because Lost is here pressuring the Straw Hats. The shot goes huge. Neil knocked down. Shocked is waiting to be the next one to fall, but they're able to recover. Who as well? Taking a lot of damage here, but RRQ on a hunt, getting active.
Might be a loss. RRQ taking the fight straight up to them, which gives the big opportunity for the 2 underdogs down at the bottom to run away with the booyah. Straw Hats and Miakop, they just need to stay silent for the time being. RRQ takes the fight to them. Round 1, Yago taken down. Mahal with a super snipe. Dunsto traded out. Shock taking advantage. This is Straw Hats hopping on in, trying to stab RRQ in the back.
Oh, the Straw Hats still survive, but RRQ is the team who's on fire right now, surviving healthy with the 4. Both these 2 teams, Mia and Straw Hats, started the day at the very bottom, and they survived again at the top 3 here. Shots knocked down already so quickly because Mia has their eyes on this team. Going for more, Mia will get 2 more points.
Amitomaki Balubasi, Bangladesh, that's the kind of spirit we want to see here in EWC. But now the battle is the 2v4, the odds against Mia, and RRQ will use the odds to their favor to walk away with a booyah here. They want to show they are alive and kicking, and they want to make it
On day number 2.
Yeah.
Vitality did try to survive, but they got overwhelmed from so many different teams as well. We saw Dix get
the rest of the world of Free Fire that the dream can always stay alive as long as you make those plays. But of course, on the second page, your Team Vitality getting knocked out a tad bit too early alongside MIBR loss as well as Twisted Minds.
Yeah, and I think that in this situation, there's a possibility that you're not expecting some of these teams to really go activated on day number 2.
Yeah.
Vitality did try to survive, but they got overwhelmed from so many different teams as well. We saw Dix getting knocked out so quickly, so many times, and separated from the rest of his teammates. I think in this situation, Vitality needs to find a way to not only survive as a team, but how they approach fights. And I think awareness might be something they want to pick up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Straw Hats, unfortunately, they have to make sure that they don't hold on to such angles in the future because their feet exposed, no glue walls to protect themselves. Many teams found that to be that weak point of the squad, and 2 players got taken out of the equation a tad bit too early. If Straw Hats had 4 survivors down in the final circle to play for the booyah, on the other hand, I think that would have been a much better chance for them. But of course, these small little mistakes is exactly what they need to fix. But of course, we've got an interview on the stage. Let's catch